Hello out there. Welcome to another segment, a special segment of Tell It Like It Is. I'm your host, Morrisman, and my co-host,
Joseph Spencer.
And today we're going to basically do a rebuttal of a video that I did recently, because I got a call from my producer this morning about 3 a.m. He said, you got some comments on that Professor Griff video and you need to address it. So I'm going to address it, and I'm going to address it very professionally and very respectful. Because again, I'm going to start this presentation by saying that I have the utmost respect for Professor Griff. This is not a personal beef or bashing on him, but the truth is the truth. And, and a lot of the stuff that has been mentioned from him is just not the truth. And there's some people, it's unfortunate that we are a group of people in this country of color that we need to have a leader. We got to have one guy to follow, and then we don't check the credentials and we don't check the research as far as the stuff that they're saying. Because it's sad that back in the 70s, a maniac by the name of Jim Jones led over 700 black folks over to Africa or Guyana, and they committed suicide. That's just how gullible we are, that we follow people without even questioning, their motives or their background. And again, I stressed throughout this presentation that this is not a personal beef or a bashing of Professor Griff, but it's just some of the stuff that he talks about is just not true. Some are just actually ridiculous, because here's one of them. The Illuminati blood sacrificing nonsense that Kanye West sacrificed his mom. It's been documented how this woman passed away. It was complications, infection set in from breast enhancement surgery. Had nothing to do with a secret society and, I'm going to sacrifice my mom, which is ridiculous because I think most of us, we love mama, and mama is the last person we giving up. We might give up daddy because daddy been mean to us, been whooping our tails, but it was for our own good. But as far as mom, and he had a good relationship with his mom. So, that's why we feel the need to have this rebuttal or this response to the comments, because I've had a lot of people send some very unprofessional, very ignorant comments as far as, I'm going to leave you my number and you need to call me. And I'm like, that's not too bright of you to leave your number on the internet and have everybody call you. And then I got a comment supposedly from Griff, which I don't believe, saying call him. And he left his number out there for everybody to see. So it's just a shame that some of our young black people, we don't check and do our resources on our own as far as research, because when I watched or read the Kevin Trudeau books, and I read all 3 of them, initially, the first one I read, I didn't believe. I was like, this can't be true. I did my own research, and that's the key. Do your own research and come up with your own conclusions, not based on what other people have told you. Because I had another comment from a gentleman basically saying that you should read these books. And actually, I read some of those books that he mentioned. And I'm like, just because you write a book don't mean what you write about is true. So again, I find it just very unsettling that a lot of us are running with information that's not true. I recently seen a clip or radio host show that Professor Griff was on, about Kobe Bryant. Now, we all know who Kobe Bryant is. He's a basketball player. I forgot what team. And he's supposed to be, at this point, probably the best player in the league. Or, he's up there with Jordan, as they say. And it was about the Trayvon Martin incident, unfortunately, that, Trayvon Martin was murdered. We all know that, and justice was not served. But the show was about Kobe Bryant's comment regarding that. And his comment was, I guess, basically was, because I'm a black man, do I supposed to have an opinion on this? And I'm like, I agree with Kobe. Kobe ain't no judge. He's not a god. He's just a basketball player. So why is his opinion is important? We all know, whether we know that it's right or wrong, that Trayvon Martin was murdered. He was murdered. And why do we need Kobe Bryant to validate this? Because one of the statements that was said on the radio show was, well, we rallied behind him when that white woman was trying to get him in jail. I don't recall, but I could be wrong. I don't remember a group of black people protesting about Kobe Bryant's issue with that. What I heard was just the opposite. A lot of us like, he got what he deserved, you know? But just because I can't validate that doesn't mean it happened. It could be that some black folks got together and said, hey, y'all about to try to do Kobe wrong, and it was consensual sex. But it's amazing that the radical broke people always expect the middle class and rich people, and mainly black rich people, to go and give up everything they got and ruin their life and career by making stupid statements that's just basically their opinion. And it's always those group of people. It's never, because if those group of people were the wealthy ones, they wouldn't get up there and spill their guts as far as what they felt and they heart about this, and then lose their endorsements and, you know, and lose their livelihood to take care of their kids. So it's just a shame that we got these insane people that expect everybody else to behave like them. You know, when you don't agree with them, they want to be disrespectful. They want to, you know, try to attack your character. And this is not about personal attacks on Professor Griff. This is about the truth as we see it, and documents and research to validate these allegations or validate that they're not true. You know, because it's all about self-proclaiming. You know, people can get up here and just talk about this is what they think, and that is just what they think. But is it true? Is it actual fact? And absolutely, in most of those cases, it's not. Now, some of the stuff that he speaks to us about the music industry is as far as how, you know, black people got robbed and they stole rock and roll. I totally agree, because it's true. It's been documented. You know, before Elvis Presley cut "You Ain't Nothing But a Hound Dog," which was I think his first and biggest hit. Big Mama Thornton did it back in the '50s. A black woman. So it was common practice for a lot of these white artists to do covers on these songs that black artists had already done. It's been documented, so we know that that's a fact, as opposed to assuming these other things that are outrageous and we don't have any research to back these things up, you know. But I turn it over to Joe and get some of his insight on what he thinks about, you know.
When you title yourself like professor, you don't have a degree in nothing except for that street degree.
It's funny that you mentioned that, because I wasn't going to go there, because again, this is not a personal bash, but you're right. I mean, most of us in this society, if we are a doctor, or, you know, we have a medical degree or we have a PhD, so we can
work for that.
Right, and we can put that in front of our name, as opposed to, again, we're self-proclaimed.
Self-proclaimed.
Yeah, so, and it's like,
he's got a degree in street.
Yeah, you know,
street.
So it's because I wasn't gonna mention that, you know, but
street, and street is usually 8 square blocks.
Yeah.
You know, people who become the man also has a uniform code going for himself. I don't trust people who start wearing uniforms.
And it's funny that you mentioned that, because I wasn't going to mention that. You know, when he was in Public Enemy, he was always militant and military. I don't think Professor Griff ever been in the military. So no, what is that about?
He got that from the Black Panthers 45 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, that crap, that's why I didn't deal with them, because I don't do uniforms. Everybody got to be uniform. That means you have to stand in line. You don't have a mind of your own. You listen to me. You follow me. You're nothing but a pawn. That's what uniforms mean to me.
Yeah.
You know, you ain't protecting nobody but one man.
Yeah.
I found that out on 47th Street, 45th.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that we're basically done with this. We're not going to discuss this anymore. We're not going to drag this out. It's not going to become this antagonistic type of nonsense as far as going back with comments.
Was that sound antagonistic?
No. I mean, you know, what your comments was reasonable. But just want to let my viewers know that I just had to respond because of my producer felt that it was important. But we're done with this topic.
I've got something.
Let me just say this. It's up to you to do your own research. Don't rely on one person giving you information that could not be true. You know, I'm going to turn it back over to Joe.
This is what he said. The written language is power. If you don't have your history written down, and history written down, and information written down, and stuff to look up that information and on history and stuff. Written language, books are fundamental. Books give you knowledge. When you get a book, get another book to prove that that book was right. It's an ongoing thing. Things constantly change.
Yeah.
You know, you read.
Yeah.
Don't take one person's idealistic stuff because they're wealthy and they so-called made it. Because if you got $100 billion and no brain and no soul, that $100 billion, the only thing it can do is buy you stuff. And how much stuff can you get?
Yeah. And I mean, you know, this is my take on being a radical. You don't really get much done but kicking up a lot of hatred.
A lot of hatred.
And, you know, we got enough hatred in the world. What we should do is take that energy, turn it around, and start loving each other. Because we all here together, and ain't nobody leaving anytime soon.
Yeah.
You know, there's no shuttle bus that's going to take a group or race of people to another planet. So we need to work together.
You got to realize United States, on purpose or by accident, it's like Noah's Ark. If people of all races who are Americans don't get rid of a lot of this crap, there are fractions out there that want to get rid of you no matter what color you are because you are American.
Yeah. And on that note, we're going to sign off. But again, as always, I thank you guys for coming to my channel. And like I said, this is the last time we're going to discuss this issue because it's done. It's a done issue. So on that note, I'm going to sign off. Again, I'm your host, Morrisman.
Joseph Spencer.
And until next time, always keep thinking.
Peace.